And you're live.
You're here. Which camera am I talking to? This one? This one. Hi. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for jumping on. I don't know if you just saw me live on Instagram letting you know that we would be here, but I really appreciate you taking the time to be here. Time is the most valuable thing that you have. So I want to honor your time here today. If for some reason you were invited to this live training and we've never met before, my name is Chalene Johnson. I am a New York Times bestselling author. I am the host of several #1 fitness infomercials. I am also the founder of the Marketing Impact Academy, which, by the way, we have opened up registration today, and we are closing early. I should probably say that first because of you, because we've had so many new members, which I know many of you are here today, and we're excited to serve you. So if that's something you've been on the waiting list and you've been waiting for, don't wait. You can sign up today, and you can come back to this training at any point. But what I want to make sure you know we're covering today, so you can make a decision on how to spend your time, like maybe you have something more important to do. So here's what I'm gonna cover for you. I'm gonna cover for you how to take advantage of the algorithms. You can call it the algorithms. Mainly it's really just like the changes in the way all of us prefer to get social media. How to take advantage of that. You can call it algorithms because that's kind of what it is, but I think people think of algorithms as something like this group of hackers up at Instagram or Facebook are like, you know, they're like conniving to like, I'm really gonna mess with people. You know, but that's not what it is. Like, we actually determine the algorithm. So I'm gonna talk to you about how to be real, some of the trends that are happening with social media, some of the things that just like are not working, that were working even just 90 days ago, and how that authenticity really can convert into monetization. So you don't need to stay and watch any further. If you have so much money you don't know what to do with it, you love social media, you get all the likes and all the comments and all the engagement you could ever possibly deal with, and you're good. So if you're good, then, you know, please go about your day, enjoy yourself. But for the rest of you, what I want to share with you is like how to be real without oversharing, because there's a science to it. Right? Well, it's not even a science, but there's a methodology, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. Because we've all followed someone who shares way too much. It's like they went from being vulnerable and interesting and real to like, okay, that's too much, right? And how do you know how much is too much? How is it you can attract people to you? By being real. And that, in turn, builds trust, because nobody buys from you unless they trust you. So I'm just curious because I can see your comments and this is really fun. Hi, Kenya. Well, I see that Brett's there, and Tanya. Thank you so much, you guys, for jumping in. We have our Marketing Impact Academy alumni in the house too. Give it up for the alums. And some of our new students too. And then some of you who are here today to learn. So don't forget to take notes, because I want you to take action on this today. I mean, you really do want to get a return on your investment. So it's not just the concepts and the information. Take action. Smart people take action, right? I'm not here for your entertainment. What's that?
People from everywhere.
Where are people from, Brookie?
Mexico.
Mexico, England, Canada, Sweden, Poland in the house, New York in the house.
Everywhere.
This is fun. This is awesome. Chicago in the house. Hey, Erica. I love that you guys are telling me this. Kendra says her notebook is ready. Guest 2220 says that they're from Springfield, Illinois. Awesome. And I have a bunch of new students. Hey, Wolf, this is really cool. So some of my new students, can we put a scroll up of our new students' names? That's always fun too. So if you're a new student, we'll be adding you to the scroll. Look for your name. Don't leave. Do not leave, because I've got a really cool bonus for you today. I'm going to teach you or share with you at the end of this broadcast. Stay with me all the way, because that's when I'm going to share some of the stuff that really makes a difference when it comes to monetizing your business. I'm obviously going to help you grow your social media, but frankly, this is a theme. If you've listened to any of my teaching, it's a theme because it's honest, and it drives me freaking crazy that there's so many people teaching you how to grow your social media and giving you the illusion or perpetuating the myth that if you grow your social media, that will result in monetization, and it's not true. You need to know how to monetize before you grow your social media. Let's get to it, shall we? Okay, I want to start off by sharing with you a personal experience that I think you will be able to relate to. So the very first time I filmed a fitness infomercial, like a consumer video. I got that, opportunity, if you will, and I was preparing for it. And I did not feel like I deserved it at all. I did not feel like I belonged doing a fitness infomercial. The reason why I have success in fitness isn't because I know more than anyone else in fitness. For sure, that's not why. It's because, and here's the honest truth, this isn't a brag, this is fact. I know more about marketing than most fitness people. And that's how I got those opportunities. So knowing that I knew a lot about marketing and maybe being a little less confident about my ability as a fitness instructor, when I got the opportunity to do a consumer video, I was seriously freaked out. I'm like, oh God, people are gonna know this girl should not be here. Somebody else should be here in her place. And so I bought every single exercise DVD I could get my hands on. Like, think of any famous person from the 90s and early 2000s who was like a fitness icon. I bought their DVD. Probably at the time it was a VHS. I watched every single one of them. I studied Denise Austin. I studied The King, Richard Simmons. I studied Kathy Smith. I studied Tybo, Billy Blanks. Like, I studied all of them. And I watched like the way they would stand when they'd start their video, like, hello everyone, welcome. Like, I studied everything. I studied the way they said their words, and I wrote down every word that they said, and I studied the way they stood, and I studied the way they taught. I just studied everything, their facial expressions. And then when we went to go film our first video, right? Now, granted, I'm already a fitness instructor. I'm already teaching real classes with real people. That's how I got the gig, right? But now I'm doing a consumer video, which I'd never done before. So I start filming, and we're probably like 2 minutes into it, and Andrea yelled, cut! And I'm like, what'd I do? And she goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. What's wrong? And she goes, why are you acting like that? I'm like, acting like what? She goes, I don't know, but I've watched tons of your classes. I've watched you teach live, even in rehearsals. Like, what is this personality thing you're doing? And I'm like, well, I'm trying to, look like all the successful people who I want to be like when I grow up someday. And she's like, well, stop doing that. Be yourself. And I was like, yeah. She goes, no, that's why you're here. You're here because those people are already out there, and people who are looking for them will find them. But you're different, like, and it's subtle, but like, you're different. And people need to know how those subtleties will serve them. Like, you need to like be yourself. Otherwise, we're gonna have no clue what separates you from anybody else. And that was a really important conversation for me. First of all, it was like, wow, okay, cool. And the next time I had this conversation was just recently when I filmed the infomercial for Payo, right? So that's another fitness program that I developed. I developed the program like 15, 16 years ago, but the infomercial for consumers just recently hit the airwaves. And when I filmed that infomercial, it wasn't working on TV. So I talked to the producer and said, I would like to film this myself from my iPhone. No fancy equipment, no camera crew, just me, like me and my freaking phone. Where is my phone, speaking of which? So like, I wanna film it with my dirty film. My phone is always dirty because it always has makeup on it, so I gotta clean it off before I show it to you, right? So I'm like, I wanna film it myself. So I literally was like, I filmed the infomercial like this, like, hey, what's up? And like, talk to the girl. Instead of like the cheesy stuff that you see in infomercials where it's like, ladies, are you sick of your muffin top? Want to look slim for summer? Like, who talks like that? I don't talk like that. So I wanted to talk to my girlfriend, right? Like, okay, girl, you're going to love this. Like, that's how I would talk to my girlfriend. So I filmed it that way. And when I sent it off to a Beachbody to test it on TV, they were like, this is who you are. This is who you are every single day on Instagram, on Snapchat. Like, this is kind of interesting, but it's not like anything that's on TV, but it is 100% you. And that infomercial, let me show you a little something. I think this is kind of cool. Okay, so can you see the slide right now?
No.
Yes? Okay, cool. So this is a shot from can you still see me too? Mm-hmm. I'm like, am I in a box? Okay, well, this is the infomercial for Payo. This is a little scene from it. And when we first tested it, we the first time we filmed it, it was like a script and me like being a professional infomercial host, like, hello everyone, like, allow me to tell you about how to have slimmer thighs, like all that garbage, right? And it tanked. It was a bust. When we came back and filmed with my iPhone, and it was just me, and I didn't use anybody else's words. It was just me being real, telling you why I created this and why I think it's perfect for you, what it is and what it's not. Then we retested on TV. Again, no special equipment. In fact, you have the very same equipment. I know you do. If you have a smartphone, you have all the equipment you need to film an infomercial, and you don't even need a TV spot. You can post that up on social media and reach millions of people for free. Isn't that crazy? So let me show you how this infomercial did. Okay, so this infomercial, here's the top 10 rankings for March 2019. And you've probably seen some of these. Are you an infomercial junkie like me? Yep. Hello, Michigan, I see you. So if you're an infomercial junkie, tell me about it. But like, I've seen all these, the Bissell vacuum, the Hoover, the Ninja, remember the Ninja blender, LifeLock, Total Gym, Luminous Air, New Wave Oven, the Power Smokeless Grill, the Power Air Fryer 360, which I own. And look what was number one. Pio. Is that crazy? And the reason why that infomercial was number one is because, here's the reason why. It is number one because it was authentic. It was really me. It was me being honest and me being real. And tides have changed. Like if you think about the TV you used to watch as a kid, like what commercials were like, aren't they funny to watch now? You're like, that is so cheesy and so weird and like it's bizarre, right? If you watch commercials lately, commercials now are using iPhone footage, even portrait mode iPhone footage. Why? Because we, the consumers, we want real. When we see something that's overly glammed, overly polished, over like special, all this, special stuff, we go, and you can tell someone's reading a script, we go, what are you hiding? If you believe so much in what you're saying, why are you reading a freaking script? Why don't you know this? If this isn't pouring out of your heart, then you don't feel it and you don't know it and I don't trust you. So that's what I want to talk to you about today is what it means to truly be authentic, right? So if you are here, hit up your favorite emoji in the comments if you are here because you would like more money, you would love more freedom, and you'd also like to find a way to work less because that will help me to know that you were meant to be here and you're supposed to be watching this training today. Because here's what I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you how to master the algorithms and authenticity. That's what we're doing today. Because it is really about understanding the way that we use social media today. So one thing you have to understand when it comes to social media is that, my screen, there it is. This is the only thing you have to understand, is that the only thing that changes faster than the way the algorithms work is, what do you think the only thing that changes faster? I'm gonna let you guess. Kim's hair. Kim's hair changes faster than the algorithm. She changes it like every day. She's really giving me wig envy though. I really would love to try a wig. Do you have something for me, Kristen?
I don't because the printer doesn't want to work. So.
And that's okay. You can pull it up on my screen. Yeah, but all of them on one screen would be great.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Okay. That was Kristen. I just walked by the way, our podcast manager. If you've never met her before, that was Kristen. So that the reason why I tell you that the algorithms change all the time is really important. And that is because you need to commit to this. You can't learn how to use Instagram or Facebook or podcasting or any social media once and then go, I got it, thank you. It's not like that. You need to commit. You need to be on top of this ish. You have got to think of this as your job. You have to pay attention. And it's really easy to do, and I'm gonna help you figure it out today. Here's the number one thing you need to understand. And once you have this, you can put it right there, right where that bag is. Once you understand this, social media is gonna be so easy. Are you excited? Because it's gonna be so easy. Okay, this word right there makes it all possible. That word is TOP, and it stands for time on platform. And if you understand how to play the game, Facebook's game, Pinterest game, the podcasting game, the Instagram game. If you understand how to play the game, then you can win. Well, you can't win at a game that you don't know what the rules are, right? Well, here's the rules. Here's what their objective is. Their objective is to keep you on their platform longer. How do they do that? By creating new features that keep people on the platform longer. Those features include things like your carousel posts, new story features like stickers, polls, chats, any native video. Yes, they can tell when you've uploaded a video that you've recorded elsewhere. Will it do as well? It might, but we know that you definitely earn the favor of that platform when you create the video on that platform. IGTV, it keeps people on the platform longer. Going live keeps people on the platform longer. Think about it. When you are live, you stick around to see, is she gonna fall off her chair, right? Like, what else is gonna happen live today? By the way, if you can hear that sound, I don't know, can you guys hear it in the background? So I'm filming at my house today, and we're like right on the ocean, and so you can hear the waves. If you're wondering, like, what is that noise in the background? That's what it is. All right, so it's a sound machine. Those features. Here's the deal. Remember this forever and ever and ever. So put your coffee down. Pay attention. Okay, this is really important. Every time, listen to me closely, every time Facebook or Instagram releases a new feature, ask yourself, could this feature keep people on the platform longer? If the answer is yes, use it, and you will rank higher in terms of your views. People will see your content longer because you will get the favor of Instagram. So ways that you can generate more time on the platform from people who are looking at your stuff is by creating longer content. You've seen those posts, right? You used to be able to put in your caption like, do you like dogs? Yes or no? But now you have to write a story about when you were a little kid. And you're like, and then one time my dad, and he gave me a dog, and then new paragraph, and then the dog ran away. Like, you have to like literally write your life story, but there's a reason why you're seeing everybody do that, because their content, it's working. Why? Because it keeps people on the platform longer. Are you with me so far? Why they say they can't hear me? Steve, you probably have your volume down.
Yeah, we've got it fixed. We got it all fixed.
Okay, the next thing is savable content. So you'll probably notice on my Instagram page, if you don't already follow me, please do, because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to share with you today, you'll see examples of it on my Instagram page. It's at Chalene Johnson. Okay, don't go there now because I need to tell you some stuff. But you'll notice that from time to time, in fact, later tonight, I'm going to post a carousel, because we know that keeps people longer. Longer video, that keeps people longer. And I'm also going to tell people in my caption, hey, save this post for later. If you don't tell people to save it, first of all, they don't even know that they can. And secondly, they just won't do it, right? It's like anything. You have to be told sometimes to do things because we're so distracted. So I'm going to tell people to save it, and that will increase the amount of people that my post is seen by, reach. Because when you save a post, you're basically telling Instagram, not only have I watched this once, I'm coming back to watch this again. And Instagram is like, cool, this person is helping us keep people on the platform longer. Get it? Okay, so create posts that are savable. That would be like a recipe or something where you're teaching people. Like tonight, I'm gonna post up a simple workout that you can do from home. And you're gonna wanna save it, because when you watch it tonight, you're gonna be like, yeah, but that's cool, but I'm sitting on my couch. And I'm gonna go like, yeah, but save it so tomorrow you can do it. Going live keeps people on the platform longer. And when you go live, I'm sure you've seen this, like you'll see so-and-so is live and you're like, who even is so-and-so? Have you guys had that happen? Yep. You're like, do I follow this? Do I follow this person? And then you're like, I don't know, I'll check it out. I always check it out if it's Cardi B. Because if she is live, look out. She's a perfect example of someone who's friggin' killing it, because she is authentic as they come, and she is turning people off in droves, but so boldly that it's attracting the people who are looking for someone like her. And that's what you have to do. You have to boldly be who you are and not worry about offending people, right? All right, the next thing that keeps people on the platform is DMs, conversations in your DMs. It's going down in the DMs, right? And authenticity, realness. We love real. We are so sick of fake. Raise your hand. Give me a high five in the comments if you're so waiting for that one person who every single one of their posts, you're like, oh, it's like their life is like soft and blurry and with soft muted pastel tones, and their hair is always like lightly blowing, and their children are always dressed in white with no stains, and they're just like this perfect family, and they're always like together and not matching but coordinating outfits. And you're like, and their pantry is like mason jar 5 inches, mason jar 5 inches, mason jar. You're like, who lives like this? It's like, all that does, when I see that, all I do is go like, well, thanks, because now I feel like I'm a mess. I'm a horrible person with a pantry with stuff shoved into it. And here you are with your mason jars, right? So we're kind of over the perfect because it makes us feel bad about ourselves, and we like real, right? So let's talk about it. Authenticity is the only thing that universally works on every single platform. Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. It used to be, y'all know this to be true, or it wouldn't have become a trend. It used to be on Instagram, we liked pretty things. We liked a lot of perfect, right? But now we're sick of it because it doesn't make us feel good. Because nobody is perfect, right? So when you see someone who is, you're like, maybe I should be more perfect. Authenticity is the only thing that works on every single platform that you can think of. You were born to be an original. Do not die a copy. I would never be sitting here in front of you today. I would not be able to share what I'm sharing with you today had I continued, had that director not stopped me and said, stop copying. Stop using their words. Stop trying to look like them. Stop trying to be all these other people. If she hadn't shook me up and told me to be myself, the project would have died. It never would have worked. You don't need to be the best. You don't need to know the most. You don't need to be the prettiest, the tallest, the smartest, the anything. You need to be you. And you need to understand that there's, for sure, argue with me if you want. I mean, let's start an argument in the conversation, in our comments, if you disagree with me. There is something that you figured out, and there's someone else on the planet who wants to figure it out, and you know more than them. True or false? It's true. There's something that you have figured out, and someone else is like Googling it right now or watching YouTube videos, and you've already figured it out, but you're so close to it, you're like, is that even like a business or a thing? Is that something I could share with people on social media? Yes, but don't share it like the other guy is sharing it, because then it's gonna feel phony baloney, and we don't like phony, right? We want real. No one connects with a fake. That's why you don't see those kind of infomercials anymore. You just don't, because it doesn't work anymore. That kind of marketing does not work.
Everybody's saying true.
Yep.
We want real. Yep. Rex says yep. Krista says yep. Katie Broom, I would say, says yep. Yeah. It's just hard to connect with that. And you know what? That's really, really good news for you. And here's why. Because there's nothing easier than being you. You just need permission to know how much to share, and you just need permission to really be you. Like the best version of yourself, but not a perfect version of yourself. Like, I still want to be attracted. Like, I still want to be like, I want to be friends with that person. You see, sometimes we take this realness thing too far. You've seen this. Am I right? Where someone takes it so far, you're like, oh, what a hot mess. Oh my gosh. Wow, can you imagine like being friends with that person? Like, what a hot mess. And then you don't want to be near them. You might kind of want to watch the train wreck, but you don't like want a piece of it. You don't want to be with them. You don't want to be friends with them. You just kind of want to see what's going to happen next. And that might be captivating, but it's not going to build trust. So it's authenticity in a way that allows people to trust you. It allows people to get to know you, because we don't trust someone who we don't know. Well, at least we shouldn't, right? So let's talk about the traits of authenticity so that you can identify them when you're creating your posts. And I'm wondering if I've missed any. So take a look at this list and let me know if you think I've missed some. But I think of an authentic person as someone who's like, they're transparent, right? Like, I'm gonna be transparent with you right now and tell you that I didn't want this shirt to pop up every time I lifted my shoulders like this. So I put little rubber bands. This is an extra added bonus for you ladies. Shut up, you girls. I put little, you're welcome, because I know you have an off-the-shoulder top and that happens to you. So I safety pinned a rubber band under my armpit So it's like it's a safety cord. It's like a bungee cord for my armpits. So my shirt's never gonna pop up. You're welcome. Okay, so they're transparent. There's integrity. You know what you can expect. You know that I'm going to give you all of my secrets, whether it's hair care, fitness, or marketing tips. If I've figured it out, I'm like, oh, I got to tell people about this. They're themselves. They don't worry about people thinking, she is a lunatic. Is she drinking? This is who I am at 8 a.m. This is who I am at 8 p.m. They also care. I think someone who's authentic, like you can tell that they actually do care about others more than they sometimes do themselves, sometimes to a fault. They're confident. So, one thing you're probably not seeing on this list is look on the screen, you're not seeing me say they're super outgoing, because that, you don't have to be gregarious or the life of the party to be authentic. But there is a quiet confidence about someone who is authentic because they know they don't have to try. My kids call it being a try-hard. Have you heard that phrase before? My kids used to say, like, if someone's like really wants some other people to like them, or they want to come off as funny, or they want to come off as whatever, then you can tell when someone's trying, and that destroys authenticity. Like, you can just tell when someone's comfortable and they're themselves and they're cool with the fact that, and they're not trying to look or seem like everybody else. And that makes us feel like we can trust these people. Someone who's authentic, they're going to be consistent. We've all seen footage of someone on TV, like a newscaster, and then someone broadcasts like them melting down behind the scenes, and you're like, I always thought there's something shady about that guy. There's something I didn't trust him. And that's because they're being inconsistent. They're like one person in social media and then another person in real life. And then passion. People who are authentic, they have true passion. But when you try to be something you're not, you lose all of those traits. So right now, here's what I want you to do, okay? In your own life, this is gonna be fun. I want you to drop the initials, not their name. Drop the initials of someone you know in real life who's like in your inner circle, who you've known for a really long time, but you don't really know them. Like there's a certain level, you haven't gone there with them, that you, like everyone else loves them, and you're like, yeah, I love them too, but it's weird, I don't feel like I know them. Do you guys have someone like that in your life? Mm-hmm. Everyone on my staff does. Do you? So just for fun, let's just drop the initials of that person. Hello, Jacinda. Oh, Katie, I know who DB is. Just kidding. Just kidding.
AA.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if we see some repeats.
Yeah. So we get the same initials.
And isn't it weird? And now, how do you feel about that person? Am I right? It's usually someone who's like really nice, and they seem very caring. They're nice to be around. They've got all these good traits, but there's just something, you can't put your finger on it, that you're like, I don't know, I don't really know who they are. And you can't trust them. Like, you would never share your deepest, darkest secret with that person. Am I right? So the person that you put their initials down, would you ever trust them to like truly take care of you? Would you ever trust them with your deepest secret or fears? Of course not, because we don't trust people who we don't really know, and that happens when we're not authentic. All right, so here's why authenticity wins. Authenticity works no matter what you're doing. And I promise you this, you might be in network marketing. You might be a stay-at-home mom. You might be a CEO of a company, or you might be in your cubicle right now with your earbuds in, pretending that you're working, but you're really figuring out how you can plan your escape. Right? Like, I don't know what you're doing today, but I guarantee you won't be doing exactly that 5 years from now, because you're a growth-minded person. In fact, you won't be doing what you're doing right now 3 years from now, because you're a growth-minded person, because the people who aren't growth-minded are not watching this video. #mediocre, right? You are not that individual. You're just going to keep getting better and better and better, which means you're going to be doing something different. And the only way to sustain that, to continue to grow and keep leveling up without having to reinvent yourself, is to be authentic, because it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can move laterally, you can move higher. It helps to improve your sales. It helps to keep people dialed in and listening to you. I'm curious how many of you have been following me for more than 10 years. For more than 10 years. Don't audio cassettes. Cassettes! Dude, cassettes. Did she just say cassettes? Can someone explain that to the young chicks that are in?
It wasn't an 8-track.
Yeah, at least it wasn't an 8-track. That's true. That could be worse. But the reason why you're still here is because that same person is me. I just have to wear a little bit more eye cream. That's all. But I'm still the same person. Different. But I won't be different. I'll be the same person. I'll still be dedicated to teaching people. People said, following you forever. This is so cool. All right, fun. So if you don't love selling, but you need to make more money, and you want to help people understand how you can help them, that's what I want to teach you today. So what does it make us feel when we're genuine? They're just confident and authentic. What does it make you feel when you have to go buy a car and you feel like the person who's helping you on the lot, or you have to buy a home and the person who's selling you your home or showing you an apartment? What does it make you feel when that person is confident, authentic, passionate, real, honest? What does that make you feel? Yes. So I'm gonna wait to make sure you can catch up. Are we good? You do know what to do? Are we still?
Yeah, they just said hit refresh.
Hit refresh. People are telling to, yes, 100% better. Thank you.
Yeah, 100% better if you just
Cool. Refresh, and grab a refreshment. Ding.
Cheers.
These things happen when you go live. And you have so many people. We have over 500 people just on this chat, plus we have how it makes you feel when you're around someone who's authentic, when you're around someone who's confident, when you're around someone who's honest. That makes you feel what? For most people, it makes you feel safe, right? Like, we don't want to be tricked. We don't want to be sold. We don't want to be scammed, right? You don't want to be scammed. And I think because it's so easy to be scammed today that we're all on hyper high alert, looking for authenticity. I mean, we look for authenticity sometimes even in the emails that we get, right? Like, is this really from Instagram? Is this guy really a prince in Arabia who, if I send him $200, he's going to send me $200,000? Is this real? Is this authentic? Right? Because we want to be safe, right? And what I believe, it is better to go an inch wide than it is to go mile deep. I'm sorry. It is better to go an inch wide and a mile deep than to go a mile wide and just an inch deep. And here's what I mean by that is, instead of focusing on all of your efforts in increasing the number of followers you have, meaning going wider, I want you to recognize you already have people following you right now. What if you went deeper? I mean, how many customers, how many real connections do you need to make? And if you make a real connection with a smaller group, how likely is it that those people are going to tell their friends who are a lot like them about you? And it widens, but it widens on a deeper level. Yes, that's what you want. I came to this realization myself about 1.5 years ago, and I was, really spending so much time trying to figure out like how to get more followers. And then I was like, why in the world would I need more followers when I'm not reaching some of the followers I have? A lot of them. Do you know on average, you reach between 1% and 6% of your total followers? That's nothing. And the only way to reach them is for them to want to look for you, to connect with you, to want to see your content. And the way that we do that is by being more authentic. But how do you do that without sharing too much information? It's pretty simple. Think about what they need, what they want. Okay? So real quick, think about the last time you followed someone who, it was kind of interesting the first time they shared this horrible thing that they're going through. It was kind of interesting, and it kind of served you because you're like, you know what, I can relate to this because I'm going through that too. And then the next time you clicked on their Facebook post, they're again asking you to pray for them. And then the next time you clicked on their Facebook post, now they're again asking you to pray for them. And it's like, this person, and maybe truly they've fallen on some bad times, but also you kind of feel like, they really just want a black cloud over them. And that's when it's just too much. Like, we all have bad days, bad moments, and I think you want to share that, but you've got to temper that by asking yourself this golden question: does this serve people? Does it serve people? And here's the answer for me. I'm not going to share what I'm going through until I'm through it and I can tell you how to avoid it. Because if I'm just in the middle of it, all I'm doing is asking for sympathy. And sometimes you need that, but you should be asking for that in your real life. You should be, if you need someone to pray for you, ask your mom, ask your best friend, ask your prayer circle. But I don't know that, and I'm not saying you should never do that in social media. I'm just saying sometimes we're just putting so much of our pain out there because we're confusing that with authenticity. Authenticity just means you're being you. It doesn't necessarily mean that every single post is #warning vulnerable post. And you're explaining like all the hard times you're going through, because now I just feel bad. And I might be going through it too, but you haven't offered me any solutions. What I would much rather have, what most of us need, is hope. We want to know. That's what I'm feeling. And I want to know that there's hope for me. I can get through this. If you watched my video where I shared Brett and I, our stories, you know, that's really important to me. And I didn't talk about the fact that and I was in social media at the time. I had a lot of followers on Facebook. I was just starting my Instagram at the time, and we were $500,000 in debt. But I wasn't like, vulnerable post, guys, I'm $500,000 in debt, because I didn't know how to get people out of it. And I didn't know how to get people out of that rat race. I didn't know how to help people avoid all the things that we had done wrong, and all the time that we had wasted and all the money that we had wasted. I didn't know how to do that. So it was once I figured it out and I could help other people, then it was time for me to say, like, okay, I want to be honest and real and authentic, and I also want to give you hope. So I'm loving that people are getting this. Yeah, nobody wants to hear all of it. That's right. Thank you. You can be authentic without sharing everything. So I hope that gives you some idea of how much to share. One more thing I want to mention about that, because I've also seen people take it too far, you know, the whole hot mess thing. You know, you need to sprinkle in some good days too, right? Like, I think that's totally cool that you're, you know, on social media with your hair up in a ponytail and you've got like bags under your eyes and dark black. It looks like you're playing football. You got eye black on it, but it's not eye black, it's just bags, and your house is a mess and your life is falling apart. Like that, we like to see that every once in a while, but you better show us that you can pull it all together too, right? Because think about it, everything we see in social media, we're asking ourselves, does this entertain me, motivate me? And especially if you want to sell something at some point, is this something I aspire to be like this person? Like real, but they can also pull it together. So, you know, it's that balance. It's putting your best foot forward, sometimes even putting your best foot forward when it's messy, right? Like understanding that people can relate to the real you. Use your real voice. That's another pet peeve. Is when I see people go live or on their stories, I'm like, you don't talk like that in real life. I know you don't. It's like this strange voice where they're like, hi guys, so today, what we'll be doing here on Instagram is letting you know, like no one talks like that. Like talk like the way you would talk with your girlfriend when you go out to lunch, or your husband or your wife. Like just be more natural, because when you're not, we're wondering what the act is about. You know what I'm saying? And I think those things will help you to build trust. This is a quote from me. A following without trust has no long-term value. So we all know people who are famous, maybe they're Instagram famous or they're on TV, right? You probably know someone who, you know where we see this all the time, you guys? On like shows like Dancing with the Stars, where they bring back like a B level or C level sometimes celebrity, or sometimes these C-level celebrities will reach out to me because their show has been canceled like 5 years ago, and everybody knows their name, but they don't have any money. They're broke. And they've passed their prime, or the industry has changed. And now they're known, they have a following, but they're not making any money because they never built that trust with people. They just had notoriety. So y'all, there's a big freaking difference between notoriety, a lot of followers, and true trust. Focus on trust and you will have a sustainable business. I want to share with you a story. And you may have seen this, and I'm going to bring it up again because I don't know if if it really sunk in with you, but today I want it to. So this is a gal, you can find her on Instagram today. Her name is Ari, and I think she probably has more followers than this. Can someone check and see how many followers she has today? Goes up all the time. 2.6 million followers. Ari. 2.6. Now let me ask you a question. If you had 2.6 million followers, would you be like, I'm probably flying in a jet. I'm making some money, honey. I'm selling me some diet tea and I'm making some money. Like, right? You've seen those influencers. Well, Ari, 2.6 million followers, like most people with a big following, wanted to figure out how to monetize it, but a little too late. So what she did was decided to launch a skincare line, right? So first she decides, I'm going to be dropping my skincare line. Look at that. Oh, you're just like, woo, that dewy skin. Ooh, that beautiful skin. I cannot wait to find out this skincare routine, right? Until you find out she's 18. And I think my skin looked like that when I was 18 too. But anyway, so Ari decided she wants to monetize her social media following. And I'm sharing this because it's a public story. It's not like I'm gossiping about her. It's a news story. In fact, it hit all of the major, you may have even seen it on Fox or CNN or CNBC because everybody covered it. She decided to launch a t-shirt line, right, to all of her fans because people love Ari, right? Well, she wasn't even able to sell 36 t-shirts. Why? Well, she had the following, but what she didn't have was trust. And if you don't have trust, then you can't monetize it, right? You have to have trust in order to monetize a following. And trust comes with time. You don't just meet someone and immediately trust them. You need constant touch points. You need to see them regularly. They need to be omnipresent. I talked about this yesterday when I went live. You need to be so omnipresent that this person almost feels like they keep seeing you and getting an opportunity to evaluate your realness and authenticity. The only way if I know if you have integrity and consistency is if I'm seeing you multiple times. Statistically speaking, that means once someone has decided they want to buy from you, if they haven't had more than 30 touch points, the likelihood of them purchasing is incredibly low. So touch points could be like this live is a touch point, an email from me is a touch point, maybe you listen to a podcast, maybe you saw me on an Instagram story, maybe I retargeted an ad and you were on Facebook and you saw an ad from me. Like each one of those is a touch point. And so the way that you can have additional touch points, like if you're only on Instagram, there's not a lot of ways to get multiple touch points. So one way to have multiple touch points is to pay for advertising, which most people can't afford to do. So the way that you get multiple touch points is by being on a lot of different platforms. But in order to really kill it, in order to be authentic, here are the 3 keys. Are you ready? Write these down. The 3 keys. There will be a quiz at the end. You've got to be real. You have got to make sure that you see people instead of selling people. And lastly, you got to have conversations with people. You have to have real conversations with people. And I want to share with you how you can do that and not have it take over your entire freaking life, right? Because how are you supposed to have conversations with people and also enjoy your life? Systems. The systems are what I teach inside the Marketing Impact Academy because I know you don't want to spend your entire life on social media. But I want to teach you how to start conversations because curiosity creates questions. And when we give people all the information and they have everything, then they're no longer curious. When I leave out some subtle details and help people to just be more curious, then they're going to ask questions. Those questions lead to a conversation, and conversations lead to a relationship. And that's what it's about. If you want to listen, are you here, yes or no, to monetize your social media? I need to ask you this. Do you want something different than what you feel today? Is it uncomfortable because you have to make a difficult decision when you want to buy something you need? Like let's say your pet has to go to the vet and now unexpectedly you've got a $1,000 invoice to the vet. Is that uncomfortable? Do you want to keep living like that? Do you have to make difficult decisions when it comes to helping someone you love? Because money is so tight. If the answer is yes, then you need to figure out how to monetize because you're spending all of your time in social media, likely anyways. So, and I know you value your time. It's the most valuable thing that you have. So if you're serious about this, keep watching because I want to help you understand that there is a system to do this. And y'all, it is not just about being in social media every day. You've got to build your business, your systems. You've got to get that foundation in place before you spin your wheels in social media. Otherwise, you're going to end up just like Ari. You might get 2.6 million followers, and it ain't going to amount to jack because you have to know the basics. I want to show you a quick way that you can have conversations. This is just like one of the things that I share with my Marketing Impact Academy students. Teaching you how to be authentic. I'm gonna share with you how I can share my words, but I can just type in a few letters as a code. This is gonna blow your mind. Are you guys excited for this? Woo! This is gonna blow your freaking mind. I'm gonna show you how to send a long message in your words to someone who asks you a question by just entering a few letters. This is gonna be, you're gonna wanna get a thank you card out and write me a thank you note. And I'm gonna show you this right after this, because first I wanna show you proof that this stuff works. All right, this stuff works. So watch this and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you this hack and you're gonna love it.
I'm a student of Chalene. She taught me how to make millions of dollars.
I am being paid 6 figures a year.
I went from about $50,000 a year to over $200,000.
What Marketing Impact Academy has done for me, and that was to manage my time and to streamline my business.
It's a step-by-step process, and if you follow the steps, you get a return on your investment. That is my absolute favorite part about the Marketing Impact Academy.
But also, I've applied her principles in marketing to other industries, including venture capital, products, all kinds of bizarre products. Just in the last few weeks, we closed up a Kickstarter using her principles and we raised over $400,000.
Whether you're a busy mom or just a busy person trying to juggle life and your business, I highly recommend trying Marketing Impact Academy.
You've got to learn how to market your business, and you've got to learn how to market your business the way that we are today.
I really want to recommend Marketing Impact Academy because it completely changed my life.
How amazing are those, right? Like, I mean, how cool to see people who maybe in the beginning didn't exactly know what their thing was. And that's what I love doing. I love, because you're too close to it. You are too close to know what your thing is. And you probably never had somebody walk you through the steps, the questions that make it abundantly clear what your first thing is. And I say first thing is because you're going to have a lot more than one thing. Like, look at me, right? You're going to be no different from me. Like, I know you have a lot of different interests, and that's why it's hard for you to pick like one thing, but that's something that we do inside the Marketing Impact Academy. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to make you pick one freaking thing. And you can't tell me, oh, I know what my thing is. I'm a healer, and I'm a yoga instructor, and I'm expert at natural pet care, and I'm also a gemologist. You're like, and it all relates. I'm like, and it's all so confusing. And when you confuse, you lose, as Donald Miller says. So one thing that I teach people to do is what I had to do, and what you'll learn to do as a new Marketing Impact Academy student is you got to pick one thing. You have to pick and niche and brand. And we will literally, I'll show you. It's pretty cool when you do this because this is the playbook that our new students get. So by the way, I don't think I've mentioned this. You can sign up today for the Marketing Impact. In fact, if you've been thinking about it, don't wait. Because we're closing, we have to close early. We got that word today from our VP, Brooke Powers, who's here in the house, and she said, guys, we've had more registrations than what we thought. We thought we'd be able to stay open for a few more days, but we're gonna have to close early. And I don't know when, I can't tell you what time, but we are gonna close early. We were planning on closing on Friday. We will not be open until Friday. I can tell you that. We're definitely closing early. But when you sign up today, you'll get the playbook. Is it show in reverse or is it forward? Yay, okay, cool. So this is literally what you do next. Because that's what people struggle with when they're starting a business. They're like, I don't know what to do next. So the very first thing that you'll do, we put a bunch of blank pages in the front so that that's where you do all your brainstorming, right? But the very first thing you do is you're gonna figure out like your expertise and your branding. You're gonna figure out what your thing is. Because it is so obvious to everybody, but it ain't obvious to you. And I'm gonna force you to stick with one thing just one thing. I'm going to force you to go through those questions. I'm going to force you because I know I'm going to mom you. And I care about you. And if you're going to give me your trust, then I have to prove myself as being someone who's looking out for your best interest. And it is in your best interest to pick one thing and go with it, right? And then you can branch out. Like, obviously, I've branched off into a million things, but not until I became known for one thing. Okay, here comes that hack. Now, here's what I'm going to show you. These are my real text messages, so please don't read them. But I want to show you how this works. So I did a little screen record of how I do this. So let's say that tonight, I'm going to post up a carousel Instagram, and I'm going to post up a workout video. And I'm not going to talk about the shoes that I'm wearing or my workout clothes. And I'm also not going to tell people how heavy the weights are. They're in the video, but I'm intentionally going to leave those things out. Now, me knowing, because I'm on social media enough, knowing that I'm going to leave those things out, I'm going to tell people how to do the exercises. I'm going to tell them what they need to know, but like kind of the things that people tend to ask me questions for, I'm going to create responses in advance because I know people are going to say, what model of Nikes are those? And where did you get your yoga tank? And how heavy are your weights? Those are the 3 questions I know I'm going to get. So I'm going to create answers to that. I'm going to say, hey, thanks for asking. I totally appreciate it. They are 15-pound weights, but you can use whatever size weights you have, and you can do this without weights, or you can go heavier or lighter. It's totally up to you, right? But I don't want to type that 7,000 times. It's still my words. It's still me being honest and authentic, but it's no different than typing LOL. Like someone said, is that inauthentic? I'm like, is typing LOL inauthentic? No, but it saves you time to type LOL versus laugh out loud. So let me show you what this looks like in practice. So can we pull up that video? Okay, cool. So here, you're watching it now, right? So I can just pick any person. I can just type in so let's say this person, like today I had 1 million people ask me, will the Marketing Impact Academy work for me if I'm in network marketing? And that's a long answer. And now if I type this exact same thing out to, 25 people, that would be my entire day. So instead, if I know a bunch of people are asking me the same question, I prepare the answer in advance, and then I use what's called a text replacement option to be able to send that quick message to anyone. And guess what? You don't need a special app to do this. We can cut back to me. Yeah, you don't need a special app to do this. It's really very easy. It's on your smartphone. Android has one, and Apple has one too. And it's if you've already downloaded my Instagram report, I give you a screen flow tutorial, nice and slow, with pictures like click here, go to settings, click this, because that's how I need to learn too. I'm like, okay, slow down. I need pictures, right? So you'll get that on if you've already downloaded the guide, which I know many of you have. If you haven't, we'll put a link to it someplace so you can find it. For those of you who are inside the academy, it's already inside your academy. All of that, the guide, the tutorials, all the videos. So it's an easier way to respond to people without having to take all that time. So I'm loving that you guys are loving this. Thank you so much. Yay. All right, cool. Yes. I love this. How large will the MIA group be? Oh, gotcha. So if I can recap for you, to be authentic, you just have to be real, because that's really what's going to help you stand out. And you know what? Some people aren't going to like you. Thank goodness. Because you don't want to work with them anyways, right? Like, bye-bye. Like, there's so many people that are just annoying as hell, and you're editing yourself because you don't want to piss those people off, but they're so annoying. You don't want, why do you care? Like, let's get rid of them. Give them permission to leave, permission to unfollow, so that I have more time and attention for the people that I love, right? Real is rare, so be as real as you can. And then see people instead of trying to sell people. Don't sell on social media. I don't sell on social media. I educate. I serve. I answer people's questions. I provide. I give them freemiums. I give them whatever it is they need. I give them that in social media so that I can build enough trust that they turn into people like you. Because every single person, we have 500 people on right now, more than 500 people. Every single one of you were meant to be here because I have a relationship with you. This is not my social media following. This is people who are at the next level, people who want to be at the top. People who said, here's my email address, Chalene, and I know that you're going to serve me. And so you are those individuals who I go deeper than what I do in social media. This is where I give you my guides, my tutorials, my training videos, a live training like this where I can answer Q&As. Like, this is a different level. And what I'm doing in social media is building enough rapport and trust that people are like, okay, let's go further. And usually that is via an email. That is exactly what you need to do. And that happens in conversations. I'm curious how many of you I've had a conversation with you. And people always go, gosh, isn't that a lot of time? Maybe, but it's worth it. You know, what's the point of trying to grow a following if you're not having real relationships, right? And I'm gonna share with you those time-saving tips like the one that I just gave you. I mean, I can reply, give a very long, detailed response, my words, my authentic words, and I can do that to hundreds of people within a matter of just a couple of minutes by just typing in those shortcuts. And I've got so many things like that that I can't wait to share with my new students who are sick of running themselves ragged in social media. It does not have to be that way. This is a quote from Oprah. I freaking love it. I had no idea that being my authentic self could make me as rich as I've become. If I had, I would have done it a lot earlier. Case in point, I posted up that quote the other day, and I got like a message from a woman who's like, I am disgusted that you like Oprah. I'm like, bye. Like, you know, seriously. Number one mistake that entrepreneurs make. So now we're going to talk about money. So again, if you just came today because you're interested in growing a following, but you don't really want to have something more. Like, you're okay with just being okay. You're okay with your semi-comfortable, often uncomfortable life. Now, if you're good with all that, then go. Because what I'm talking about now is the stuff that most people are afraid to do. But if you want more, if you want to up level, then stick around, because I'm going to help you understand how to do this. You know, I want to tell you about a conversation I had with, I said a conversation. It wasn't even a conversation. It was a message that I listened to on an audio program from my mentor, Brian Tracy. Okay, so I used to listen to his personal development on cassette in my car when I was first out of college and wanting to do something, like learning how to focus. I discovered Brian Tracy because I was trying to figure out how to focus, right? And I was listening to an audio training from him. And he said that 20% will be incredibly successful of people who start a business, and 80% will fail. And the 20% who are successful are the people who will invest when they can't afford to invest in themselves. And the people who fail are those who make a decision not to invest in themselves, who try to figure it out themselves. And I'm like, well, I'm going to make a decision. And like that comment, that phrase, I played it over and over and over again. I was driving around in my red Jeep Grand Cherokee with rusted out doors, and I listened to that over and over and over again. And I'm like, that, if it's that simple, I will make this decision. I will invest in myself. I will invest when I can't afford to invest, because I can't afford not to. And in fact, I'm going to do one better than that. I want to be in that 10% that doesn't just invest in anything, they invest in the best. And so by you staying here, you're telling me already that you understand what it takes. Because some people will never freaking get it. But the number one mistake, here's what I want to share with you, the 3 top mistakes that people who start a business or want to start a business, the 3 biggest mistakes they make. Number 1 is that they have a desire, but they lack clarity. And we all start that way. Like, I wanted to be a personal trainer and a paralegal and an attorney and write a book and do seminars for women who are working at home and wanted to start their own business. And I wanted to sell a book on how to start a personal training business. And I'd started a personal training business. And I was trying to create fitness programs. And I was trying to flip cars. I was doing all those things at once. I don't know if you call that clarity. But I didn't realize that what I thought was work ethic and drive was lack of focus. You need clarity. You need to know what and where and what direction to go. Now, you don't need, listen to me closely, you don't need specificity But you must have clarity of direction. Like, I need to know that I'm heading in this direction. I don't need to know exactly what house I'm going to end up at, but I need to know that I'm going in the right direction, as opposed to all these detours and left turns and no, and I'll try that, and I'll try that, which is really easy to do when we're so easily distracted by social media. Number 2 mistake that entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, people who have a dream, number 2 mistake that they make is working their butt off all the time on all the wrong things. Working all the time on all the wrong things, right? Tell me if this isn't true for you. You get, at the end of the day, you're like, oh my God, I didn't do any of the things I was supposed to do. I am no further ahead. I am further behind. And tomorrow I'm gonna get caught up. What did I do today? I was busy all freaking day. What did I get done? I am no closer to my goal. I'm not making more money, and I just worked an 18-hour day. And I worked my butt off, and I forgot to pee. Like, I forgot to eat. Like, you had one of those days, you know? And also the kids are like, Mom, we don't have any food for tomorrow. And you're like, well, I had a lot to do. Like, if you are living that life, it's not because of work ethic. I know you got the work ethic, or you wouldn't be watching this. But you're working on the wrong things in the wrong order. That is one of the that nearly was my demise. And I wore my workaholic, work ethic like a badge of honor. I really did believe, because I learned this from my dad. No, I'm not like blaming him, but we learned from our environment. I learned in my environment that you can outwork people. But the truth is, that doesn't give you any time. I need to learn how to be smart. I needed to learn how to be smart. And the people who earn the most know the most. They don't work the most, they know the most. Let that sink in. Write it in the comments so you don't forget it. Write it in your own handwriting. The people who earn the most make the most. I am one of the top earners in history in fitness. Not because I'm better at fitness or I know more about fitness. I'm one of the top earners in the history of fitness because I know more about marketing. If you want to earn more, you don't have to work more, you need to know more. The number 3 mistake that people make is a mindset. The mindset that I will figure this out myself because I can't afford help. I went to school for language arts, but I'm gonna figure out how to code. I am a math teacher, but I'm gonna figure out how to edit a video and post up my own podcast. I am exceptional at making crafts and I wanna sell them, so I'm gonna learn myself how to build a website and an opt-in page and a shopping cart because I can't afford help because I wanna make money. When I am, and you can call me on this, like check my resources, check my receipts. Every single interview that I do via podcast or a blog post or whatever, whenever they ask me, what is the number 1 mistake you've made in your life that you want other people to avoid? My answer is always the same. The biggest mistake that I made was working myself to the bone and losing time when my children were really young, losing time with them because I thought I was saving us money by figuring out how to do it ourselves because we weren't making money. And here's that catch-22. When you're not making money, you're like, well, what am I supposed to use to pay for it? And the answer is faith in yourself. And once I understood that concept, that scared money don't make money, that if I truly, truly wanted to be in that 20%, no, I want to be in that 10%, I need to invest in the best. And when I did that, everything turned around. That was the first year that we were able to make $1 million. It was the first year that I really, truly invested in the right help. Someone who's been there, experts. And to this day, that is the number 1 source of my extra income. It's gonna go to people who know more than me because I need to know more, because I want to earn more and I don't want to work more. It is why I created the Marketing Impact Academy. So for those of you who've been hanging on, you've been waiting for us to open, I have one question to ask you, and how you answer this question will decide whether you continue watching or you can go about your day. Here's my question for you. Do you want to be exactly where you are today or worse off next year? Because if the answer is no, I don't want to be here, I want to be better, then you need to keep watching, because I'm going to explain to you exactly who this is for, what it is, how it works, and how it can help you. But if you are comfortable with the level of discomfort that you have, I can't help you. If you don't want to change anything, if you're not willing to trust and believe in yourself, this is not for you. This is not for you if you're not motivated. Okay, because I know my lifer. I know you. You are motivated. You just sometimes question yourself. I know you're motivated. If you're motivated and you can follow steps, I can help you. And we've done this for so many people, even people who don't know what their thing is. Today is the day that you can join the Marketing Impact Academy. I'm going to explain to you exactly what it is and how you can literally justify the investment. Okay, stay with me, because I want you to understand how this will work for you. What is it? It is an online academy. It's not a course, okay? Because y'all, I did all the courses, and there's nothing worse than having ADD. Do you have ADD or some version of that? There's nothing worse than buying a course, not finishing it, or going to a seminar and going like, oh God, I don't even have time to implement that right now, and not getting a return on your investment. I did all the courses. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on courses, live seminars, trainings, mentors, very expensive masterminds. I've spent that money. Some of it was fantastic, and you will be the beneficiary of that information. Like every agency that I've worked with, every exceptional mentor. Like I spent $10,000 to meet with one individual to lay out the plan to create a New York Times best-selling book. You know, why do I have a best-selling book? It's not because I worked harder to promote it. How did I hit the New York Times bestseller list? It's not because I worked harder. It's because I know more. And you are the beneficiary of that and everything else I've ever learned from anyone. It's inside this, but in the right order. Let me show you the front of it so you know what I'm talking about. It's in the right order, because all this information, transparency, I'm going to tell you right now, you can find it. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can pay for it yourself, you can find all these experts, but good luck doing it in the right order, because there's nobody who creates a GPS blueprint of the right order, to my knowledge, except the Marketing Impact Academy. And I create it for people like us who are like, I am very easily distracted. I need to know the order. It's an online academy. That means you can go to your desktop or your laptop or your phone or your iPad, and when it's convenient for you, when you can steal away 15 minutes, you watch a lesson, you go do. You watch a lesson, you go do. Got it? Like literally when you're waiting for your kids and they're 15 minutes late, you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get ahead. Instead of spending 5 hours on the weekend watching Netflix, you're like, you know what? Today, I'm gonna spend an hour taking my business to the next level, figuring out what my thing is, launching a store, like making money. Today, do you know, like the things that I'm gonna teach you how to do, the tools are free. The things that when I first started at this, you had to pay a web developer. You had to pay someone to design a shopping cart for you and to connect it. You had to hire people to take the photos. You do all these crazy things. You had to pay a ridiculous amount of money just for an email management software. It's all friggin' free now. I just want to help you pick the right ones and know what to do first so you're not overwhelmed, because you don't have a lot of time, and I want to help you build this in your spare time. That's like one of the top questions I get from people is like, okay, but you know, it seems convenient. I understand I can go through it at my own pace. I understand it's online. I understand that it never goes away. Yes, you have lifetime access. Never goes away, because it shouldn't go away. I think it's BS. The people who give you like 12 weeks to get through a course, that's BS. Because we all know, like, life gets in the way. Your kids are gonna go through something. You know, you find out your mother-in-law has breast cancer. Like, things happen, life happens, and you should be able to, that's called balance. You should be able to do this and dip back in. So you can do it with very limited time. In fact, I want you to see this so you believe what I'm saying to you, that even if you feel like you have no time, you have time to prioritize this because it matters.
Before Marketing Impact Academy, I was really having a hard time. I was getting burned out. I was wasting time away from my 2 kids and my husband.
We don't have any more hours in the day. We can't fit any more people into the studio, so how do we grow it more?
I had the busiest schedule in my life.
I mean, I can only go to so many community events. I can only visit so many physicians. This has taught me, like, there's other ways to do this.
And the strategies that I learned inside the academy, I got myself set up for success. I have figured out how to just scale my business.
And the best thing about it is I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to exchange my time for money.
What was so great is that I could leave the office and I'm still making money.
By doing the right type of activity, that then freed up my time because I wasn't working all the time, and that is in turn what grew my business the 2 to 3 times and allowed me to have more time.
She makes it so simple that it's just, you plug it in and sales are coming in.
Between our first launch and this most recent launch, we've doubled our membership.
It was insane to see the growth on how big, just by following a super simple system. I was able to just implement that right away, and my business really just became a lot easier.
The Marketing Impact Academy is going to teach you step by step all the things that you need to have an efficient, effective, profitable business. Of course I would recommend it. It's the best damn thing you can do for yourself.
I mean, the most important asset you have, your primary asset, is time. I hope you see that, right? Because money doesn't make us happy. Having no time makes us unhappy. And you're spending your time here with me today. So I hope, in fact, I know that if you took notes and you just understand how to implement some of these things, that you're going to get a return on your investment. Because I want you to know how much I value your time. I want you to know you can't get your time back, especially if you care about relationships more than money. And I say, and you would think like, oh, doesn't everybody feel that way? No, a lot of people would much rather have like more money and work their face off, and they just don't care about relationships. But I don't usually speak to that person. I don't resonate with that person. That they aren't interested in me, because I like to help the person who's like, no, I don't need to work my face off. I don't think it's cool to say I work 24/7. I don't aspire to be that person. I don't aspire to be the person who misses their kids' stuff, who doesn't have the freedom to say, you know what, today I just feel like being creative and not going to work, and I'll work tomorrow. Like, I want to take care of the person who realizes their time is incredibly valuable and you want more freedom. And in order to have more freedom, there are no like black hat shortcuts, but the most direct route is the shortest possible route. It is when we take all these little detours when we're trying to figure things out ourselves, and we're like, oh, that person who I want to be like, they've just started a podcast, so therefore I should start a podcast. Wrong. This person who I want to be like, they've written a New York Times best-selling book, I should write a book. Wrong. There's an order to it all. And for me, whenever I would take a seminar or a workshop, I would take notes feverishly. You know I'm a note taker, right? So I had these little notebooks, and I saved a ton of them. But a ton of them I lost. And every time I would take a training, I would think to myself, so where did I leave off? What do I do next? Or if I would take a training and it was something I wanted to learn, but I didn't need to use it yet, like it wasn't time for me to write a book, it wasn't time for me to launch a podcast, then I would need to know where to find that information. I could never find it when I needed to. So I was like, okay, what did I need? I needed like the Bible, like the playbook to the winning team. And that's why I created this. And I'm sure we've got alumni on here will tell you that this changes the game. This is next level. This is worth the investment. This alone is worth the investment of joining the Marketing Impact Academy and becoming a lifetime member. This alone, if you got nothing else, this will change your life and your business. It'll take you to the next level because it's everything in the right order. So when life does get in the way and you have to take a break because you're going through something personally, you don't go, where did I leave off? And start on the wrong thing. You just go, oh, I know where I left off, right there. It teaches you everything you need to know. And it follows along in the order of the lessons that you'll be following inside the Marketing Impact Academy. This is only available to those of you who are Marketing Impact students. So if you are watching right now and you're a student, you don't have one, or you'd like to purchase another one, because sometimes people go through it multiple times, you can do so inside of our portal. It's $197. Now, don't be jealous, but for those people who sign up today, new students, you guys get a bonus. So today, when you sign up, you'll get yours free, and I'll ship it to you. You've been seeing me post people on Instagram like doing their dance with their book. I mean, who dances around with homework? Nobody. But you are gonna dance around when you're like, here's the answers, this is the key to my success. Yeah, you're gonna dance around with it. And here's what I want you to do. If you sign up today, I'm seeing those names scroll across the bottom. When you sign up today, give me a little dance, right? You won't have your book yet, but give me a little dance, like maybe something like this. And send it to me on Instagram, because those are really fun for people to celebrate along with you. But you'll get yours for free. We'll ship it out to you. So when you click Get Started Today and it asks for your mailing address, this is why. The other thing that we ask for in your when you join is I'm going to ask for your cell phone number, and this is the reason why I'm asking for your cell phone number. Okay, I have to say two things. Number one, it's going to say, can we send you emails? If you say no, what are you thinking? Like, you've hired me to keep you accountable. If I can't keep you accountable, you're like, you can keep me accountable, but you can't contact me. Like, that doesn't work. I'm gonna remind you when you need to get in there and get a return on your investment. I'm not gonna spam you, you're already a member. But I do need to let you know when we're releasing a new report or when there's been a major change. So click yes to that box and give me your cell phone number only if you will allow me to, from time to time, just text you and say, hey, there's new stuff, go check it out. That's all. I'm not gonna ask you every morning if you wanna work out with me. It's so that we can help keep you accountable. And the reason why I do that is because I wanted that. I'm like, you know what, I don't always check my inbox. Frankly, I don't always check my emails, but I always check my phone. So that's why we offer it. You can take it or leave it. But when you give us your mailing address, this is why. So I can ship you this, okay? And this is a $200 value. You get it for free when you sign up today. The Marketing Impact Academy is something that we only open, well, we only usually open it once a year. We won't open again after we close because we're filling up. We're almost at max capacity.
Sales are off the hook right now.
That's fun. That's exciting. We have so many people joining today. Congratulations. Thank you for making that bold decision. You've made a decision to go to the next level, right? And we normally only open once a year. We'll open again sometime next year, but I can't tell you when, so I would not wait. The time is going to pass. So it's something you want to make a decision to do today. So once you get inside the academy, we're going to start with your business basics, okay? It's very clear. In fact, so you're not distracted. We're going to start with your business basics. Before you go into social media, so that you're not mad at me, I'm going to tell you what to expect. I'm going to force you to revisit your thing. What makes you unique? What makes you stand apart from everybody else? What makes you special? We're going to help you to understand your branding, who your lifer is, and what it is that's special about you that attracts people to you. So we're going to go through those two first important stages of building a foundation first before you go to social media, because listen to me. If you're in social media and you haven't done this, it's like going to the bar and trying to find your perfect mate, but you ain't got a job, you're still living in your mom's basement, you're still riding at 10 speed to get to your job. You're not that attractive, so that you don't have any place to take that girl home to. You know what I'm saying? You need a place to take people home to. My staff is dying. Was that inappropriate? Was that inappropriate? But you know what I'm saying?
It's authentic.
You need to have your ish together before you go hey, come on home with me and my mom can make us a pot pie. No, you need to have a place for people to send people. So I'm going to help you build all that and make it perfect. We're going to create an opt-in page. My staff is dying right now. We're going to build an opt-in page. We're going to create freemiums. I'm going to do that with you slowly, because I know how you learn. I'm going to give you choices. So here's the program that's free, and here's free software. Here's the pros and cons of each. Almost all of these tools, you guys, are free. And I'm going to share, and if there is something that you might want to think about, buying the paid version, I'm going to help you understand why and when you might need to. But almost every tool to start a business today is free, which is so crazy. You can literally come up with an idea today and launch a business tonight. In fact, I I think we have something special for you guys. But I'm going to tell you about it in just a second. Don't let me forget, okay? If I forget, say, Chalene, you're going to tell us about something special that had to do with Brett. Okay, that will remind me. All right, so when you join the Impact Academy, when you become a member, we go through those basic pieces first, then you'll have access to 30, it's almost like 30 courses in one, but you don't have to go through them all at once. And you aren't maybe ready yet for Facebook advertising. But when you are, hi, you don't have to buy another course. In fact, over my dead body will you buy another course? Because you've already paid for it. It's already inside the academy. And you're like, well, but now that I have all these basics, now I need to figure out what to sell. Perfect. You don't have to buy another course on how to create a product to sell. It's inside the academy. It's like a library. So it's like when you go to a library, are you expected to read all the books? Of course not. But they're all there for you. And that's how the academy works. So once you get through your basics, all the extra things, everything that I've ever spent time, money, resources, the experts, the agencies, the trainings, the online courses, the in-person seminars, all of that, you are the beneficiary of that. It's inside the academy. So it's as if you're taking the same trainings that I went to, except it's not just me. We bring in a team of ambassadors. So we have ambassadors who are experts in their field to help make sure that what you're getting is the best. It's not just me. Obviously, I can't be an expert at everything. So I think about 3 or 4 years ago, we decided let's bring experts inside of the academy and let's make them ambassadors. Experts at YouTube marketing, network marketing, so people who will teach you how to build your own brand. If you want to grow your network marketing business and you feel creepy and weird, like, talking to people about your shake or your oils or your candles or whatever, let me introduce you to our experts. We have ambassadors inside the academy who are killing it. Millions of dollars that they are earning as network marketers, but they did so by building their own brand. Do you want to see what I'm talking about? Okay, because listen, wait. If you're like, I would never do network marketing. Never say never. Even if you've already figured out your thing, I would tell my own kids, in fact I have, you need to be a network, like do it on the side. It's an extra, it's an extra stream of passive income. And if you learn to do it the right way, you don't have to sell. You can build your own brand and it'll just trickle down into your network marketing organization. If you're looking for an additional stream of income and you haven't considered this, watch this. This will blow your mind.
Marketing Impact Academy taught me how to brand myself. Everything that I've learned from Marketing Impact Academy has really helped me create a full-fledged business where we're making multiple six-figure incomes in just a 12-month period.
Since plugging into Marketing Impact Academy, we've tripled our business. I can unplug from my business without it impacting my finances because of the systems that I've learned in Marketing Impact Academy.
But with Marketing Impact, she lays it all out for you. Business just kept growing and kept growing. I am getting closer and closer and closer to living the life that I want, like that grand vision. That's really cool.
So I was in my health and fitness business for 4 years. So when I started Market Impact, that year, I added as many people as in the 4 years. Market Impact gave me the freedom and more income, and I started to connect with the people that I needed to connect with.
I had followed Chalene for so long. I realized that I could have more of her insight and her systems and the things that she had already been through, and she was willing and passionate about teaching it. The fact that if we applied these steps, we'll make it back easily as long as we take action on what we learn.
Residual income is happening. I was able to follow everything step by step, go back and rewatch anything that I needed to do. Our business has grown, and it has also created peace in our house.
I have to tell you that some of the students who you saw in that little clip, they've done the coolest things with their brand, and you would never know that they are in network marketing because you would just see their brand. You would see the other things that they're doing, like developing their own skincare line, and in addition to that, being a network marketer or becoming their own thought leaders. I mean, it's crazy what happens and how much more fun it is to be in network marketing when instead of pushing your product, that's what it feels like you're doing, you can become the brand. But you need to know how to do that in such a way that it trickles down into your network marketing. I want to answer your questions. I can see them coming up. Thank you so much, like Kristen and guest 9046. I'm going to answer a bunch of your questions. So one person said, can I do this with my spouse? Do we each have to become a member? No. For couples, this is really important to me. Couples, you just one membership, because I would love for you to get on the same page together. You have strengths that she doesn't. She has abilities and interests that you don't, and together you become so much more powerful. And did you notice that my shoes match my nails? As a side note. Okay, but here's what you will do. You'll only get one book. Okay, so if you want 2 books, which you should get 2 books, you'll have to buy your second book. Okay, and then the next person asked about our live event. Yes, so you will also be invited to our live event. Now, if you decide not to become a member, you can still come to our live event, but it's a $2,000 ticket. So my thing is, I'll give you 2 tickets, which is a $4,000 value, when you become a member today. And you can become a member for your first payment of $357. So like, hello, I don't know if you're great at math, but that should be a no-brainer for you. I'm gonna give you a $4,000 bonus. You pay $357 to start. That should be pretty clear, like what your decision should be, right? So you can literally start today to answer your question about payments. We do offer a payment plan. It is $357 to start, okay? I do have a way for you to save if it's in the cards for you to pay it all at once and go all the way in, like to fully commit, but that's not for everybody, right? Like some people are like, yeah, I can't get blood out of a turnip. But if you can, like a major shift happens in your mind when you fully commit and you make the full payment, and you'll save $145, number one. Number two, it's a shift in your mindset. It's like, oh, I got skin in the game. It's like being accepted to Harvard or Yale. You're like, I ain't skipping class. This is an investment. I worked all my life for this. Like, you just got accepted to the most prestigious academy in the nation. There is no better marketing academy. I guarantee you this. I promise you, if you have an MBA from any university, Harvard, Yale, Georgetown, and you know more about marketing than what you'll learn in the Marketing Impact Academy, I will reimburse you your tuition. Not just the marketing, I'll reimburse you your educational tuition. I say this every year, and every year someone's like, oh, I'm just gonna buy this to take her up on it and prove her wrong. And you know what? They're always like, ha, you're right. Because they can't. This is so updated. This is so current, and it's everything that most outdated education can't keep up with what's going on in social media. They just can't. So this is like next level stuff. So you can join today for make your first payment of $357. Those of you who want to fully commit, I am going to help you justify that decision. Because you and I both know, once you learn all this stuff, you're gonna wanna do more. And there's only so many hours in the day, and you're about freedom. So I'm gonna teach you how to hire your team, starting with 1. Like, who do you hire first? That first part-time person, just like a few hours a week, because that's all you need at first. But there's some things you need to know before you hire someone, like how to get your Dropbox organized, how to make sure that you can share passwords without compromising and getting hacked, how to organize a system so that you can hire people overseas, they can work for you overnight, and you have a process by which, a system by which it turns into workflow for you, and you don't have to spend all your time teaching someone what they need to do. Right? Because so many of you are like, I need help, but I think it'll take me longer to explain what it is. I'm going to teach you exactly how to hire. I'm going to give you that course. So for those of you who make a payment in full, I'm going to reward you. I'm going to help you justify that by giving you the course that Brett and I created together. It is how to hire. I'm going to teach you who to hire, your first hire, your second hire, all the way up to your team of executives, how to write the job post, where to post them, how much you should be paying them, how to pay them, how to keep them incentivized, how to keep them motivated, how to make sure, what to do when they don't do their work, because it's a lot of times people who are overseas maybe, or outsourcing, or they're virtual people that work in the United States but outside of your office. Like, how do you make sure people are actually doing their work? All of those things, I don't want you to learn that the hard way. I want to help you, because the bigger your team, the better your dream, right? And I have an awesome team here today. So you'll get that bonus. So when you check out, you'll see there's like 2 options. You can select the payment option, and you'll make 5 additional payments, one a month of $357. Or for those of you like, I just want to be done with it and go all in and fully commit, you'll choose the full payment option, and you'll receive a $145 discount, as well as the how to hire bonus. But this is what I said I wanted to tell you guys about something we haven't mentioned. I don't have a slide for this. You are getting your 2 free tickets. You do know that. But I don't have a slide for this because when we cut to the testimonial, I just made sure we could do this. I want to give you, those of you who are, everybody actually, I want to give you something that Brett and what we did. It's a training that we did just a few days ago for a private group, and I'm like, why wouldn't we give that to everybody? I would want that. I know how valuable it is. And what we did is explained exactly how we were able to afford the investment of hiring a mentor to help us when we had no money, when we were $500,000 in debt. And we did a live training and taught you exactly how we budgeted, how we changed our credit card payments, how we took a look at everything that we were paying for the month and figured out what things we could cut, and we walked you through that process. We talked about how we sold clothes and shoes and things around the house that you would think, a lot of people just donate, but how you can make money from those things and what apps to use, how to, literally, you're being robbed every month and you don't realize it because there's so many things you haven't looked at, like interest rates and credit cards and things that you have around your house that are just taking up room in your garage, that literally just by spending, what was the message we got from the lady the next day, honey?
The next day, she did 3 things.
Can you guys hear him?
She did 3 tips and saved $900 on 3 tips in the first day.
So I don't know if you can hear Brett. He's over there. But he said one woman, after watching that training, she said just by applying 3 of the tips in one day, she got back $900. It's insane. To think that just by these simple things, this is money that you have going out the door. So this is a training that Brett and I want to give to you. It's not about building a business. It's about figuring out, you already have money. There's money on the table, and we're going to teach you how to find that just to make this a little easier. Right? Because I know what that felt like when it's I know I need this. I know I need this. But where do I get the money if I don't have the money? You do. And if it's important to you, you'll make it happen. You got your 2 free tickets. That's a $4,000 bonus. You have a money back guarantee. Now, this was the deciding factor for me when I went to Brett and we were massively in debt, and I knew that we needed to invest in us. I needed to stop trying to figure this out myself. I needed someone who could show me how to do it exactly so I could stop wasting time and stop wasting money. And when I went to Brett to ask him if we could spend money we didn't have, I felt super guilty. I felt like a failure. I felt like I was letting him down. But I knew that if it didn't work, I could get my money back because that person offered me a money back guarantee, and that was what made it feel safe for Brett. I said, if it doesn't work, we had a 14-day money back guarantee. You get 30 days. Because I really want you to get a return on your investment. I want you to see this. So if that's you, if you're like, I know I need to do this, but I need to check with my significant other, or I need to think about it. Don't, because you will kick yourself, and then you will live with the pain of regret, because nothing changes about your current circumstances. Nothing changes unless you take bold action. So take the action, and if for some reason you were wrong and this isn't for you, you've got 30 days to figure that out, to consume the content, to get a return on your investment and go, yeah, it's not for me. Then you've got 30 days to return this with a full money back guarantee. That's it. So that really should eliminate the risk for you. And you've got the 2 free tickets, right? You've got lifetime access. It doesn't go away. Every single year I hear from someone who says, I took 6 months off. I didn't look at anything for 6 months. I just dug back in and oh my God, life changed. I can't even believe it. And it was such a gift to be able to give myself that time off because I had a sick parent or whatever. Today when you join, you can jump right in and you will have access to the last 6 years. Is that 6 years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last 6 years of our live event footage. You know, and that's really fun stuff because we have experts like Brendan Burchard, Amy Porterfield, James Wedmore, Lewis Howes. Did I say Brendan Burchard? Yeah. Jeff Walker, Bo Eason, Pat Flynn, Kim Garst, Brock Johnson, Sean Cannell, Rachel Miller, like the best of the best experts, including experts in network marketing and building your own personal brand. You will see them on our stage, like branding people like Rory Vaden. Vaden? I almost said Vader. Rory Vaden, who's an expert at branding. Like all of this footage, you didn't miss anything. You'll actually have access to that, immediate access when you join today. Okay, and then I know a lot of people talk about, you know, like you get to be a part of a private community. This is next level. This is next level because right now you don't have the kind of people around you who know to go to the next level, who are creative. So many of the people that you're surrounding yourself with, they're like stuck in the same place. So you're getting the same information. Like especially if you're in an industry and you're hanging around all the same people in the same industry, nothing new happens. But when you're in a private community like ours, now you're in a community of people who are from all different walks of life, different businesses, different industries. You're gonna get so many cool, fresh perspectives. And when you apply that to your business, then you really stand out. It's like having your own mastermind, but a virtual mastermind. And we're also going to give you access to our private Facebook group. Now, a lot of experts sell their private Facebook training, which by the way, I think tends to turn it, and I don't want to say anything negative, but I've seen a lot of private Facebook groups that I've paid for myself, upwards of $1,000, that just turn into a gab fest. That's not how ours works. I'm going to give you our private Facebook community, and it is where we go for hot topic training. So if you're like, oh, shoot, Instagram just launched this new thing, and I don't even understand how, does that help me for business? Or like TikTok, do I need to know how to use TikTok for business? Before we even put it out on a podcast or inside the Academy, we do a live Q&A training inside of our private Facebook group. What doesn't happen in our private Facebook group is all the, can everybody say a little prayer for my cat? She's been coughing up cat ball hairs all morning. We don't do that. It's like, you literally, you get the training, you ask the questions about the training, you get out. It's not a time suck because you ain't got a lot of that. We want to get you to the point. So you get all of these things, all of the bonuses that I talked about. You get your money back guarantee. You've got the playbook that I'm going to ship to you. I've already told you something that's not even up on the screen, and that is Brett and I are going to send you the training where you're going to learn that you probably have this money and it's already leaking out the door. We're going to show you how to stop the bleeding and save money, probably enough money to pay for your first investment, how to make money back quickly. You'll get that. You're going to get 2 free tickets to our live event. That's insane. You're going to get 6 years of our last live 3-day conferences. That's a $12,000 bonus. You get access to my private Facebook group where we do our hot topic training on marketing. You get access to our private community. You have a money back guarantee. You have lifetime access. You have access to a team of ambassadors and experts. My question to you is, what are you waiting for? Because if you're waiting for the perfect time, it's not coming. There will never be a perfect time. You know that's true. You just have to know that you will follow through. You have to get to a place where you've looked at the consequences. Because when you make a decision to wait, you will have to suffer the consequences. You will be stuck spending more money, wasting money. I can say this because I did it. If you decide not to move forward, you're making a decision to continue to waste time and money. And you will be back here with me next year. And you'll feel that same thing. And if you were here with me last year or the year before, you know I'm speaking the truth. And now you're seeing the people, their success stories are the people who did finally make a decision, and they're making it happen. You're seeing them as our 5, 6, and 7-figure earners. Why? Because they finally made a decision. They decided to be in that top 20%, not in the 80% that fails and they just tried and tried and tried, but they never invested in themselves. You make a decision. And of course it's scary. And don't, please, do not write in the comments, but my business isn't making any money right now. Because you know what? No one is making money who's watching this right now. Not the kind of money they want to be making. That's why I created this. That always cracks me up when I see people say like, oh, I'm gonna wait till my business makes more money. That is like saying, I'm gonna join the gym after I get super ripped. I'm gonna start working out after I get super fit.
Mark Zuckerberg's not on this live.
That's right. Brett just said, you know, the Forbes 500 folks, those people, those companies, they're not here today because they invested long ago. They made this decision long ago. Here's what successful people do. They know more. They know more than people who are less successful. They know more than the people who are struggling. I've said this a million times. I'm average when it comes to fitness, probably below average, but I know more about marketing. And that's why I've had the success that I have. It's not knowing more about your expertise. You don't need to know more about your expertise. You need to know more about how to help people and how to market yourself. Successful people do not waver. They commit. They decide. They act like a confident individual. Imagine the person with your superpowers. Like the thing that you need right now, that confidence. Think about the most confident business person you know, right? The person who's killing it. Think about that. There's somebody in your industry right now, you're like, I would like to be like them when I grow up. How would they make this decision? Would they waver? Or would they take bold action? And most of all, successful people value their time. And trying to figure this shit out yourself means that you don't value your time. And if you don't value your time, how can you prioritize the people that you care about? And I said this from the beginning. That's the entrepreneur, that's the dreamer that I want to help. The person who says, I really would actually love to have more time. And it would be super cool if I had more money in the process. But ultimately, I want to have more freedom. I want to be able to help people without it being painful. I don't want to feel like this. I don't like the tension that I have with my spouse. I don't like the way I feel every month when I'm paying my bills. I don't like that there are things I have to say no to because we can't afford to do it. I don't like having to say no to my kids. I don't like having to think about these things. I don't like having to look at the price tag of something that I know I need. And if that's you, then you have to do something differently. You can't continue doing what you were doing and expect a different result. Even if you're doing it harder, it won't happen. You have to make a decision. So today is that opportunity for you. And I know you're nervous about this, and I want you to keep in mind that the same feelings that you're associating with nervousness is actually the same feelings you have when you're excited, right? Like when you do something outside of your comfort zone, what do you feel, right? Like when you jump off a cliff, when you go skydiving, when you ask that guy out or that girl out, when you do something like apply for a job, when you've done things that have changed your freaking life, you are not comfortable. You will not change your life in your comfort zone. Bottom line, you got to do some scary shit, and I want to be there to help you do that and realize like, oh, look at that, I survived, and I'm going to do it better the next time, and the next time, and the next time. I want to help you figure this out. I want to keep you accountable. I want to keep you accountable so you stop spending money, and more importantly, spending time doing things you shouldn't be doing yet. It's not time for you to do that thing yet. I want to welcome you to the Marketing Impact Academy, and today is your day. For those of you who have it in the cards financially, you can fully commit and you can make that full payment. Reminder that you will receive as a bonus my How to Hire mini course. And it's there, you might not need it immediately, but I promise you this, you're gonna have so much success, you're gonna need a team. And that's really fun. If you hire people the right way, like I've got such a killer team, give it up for my team. They think they're pretty cute. And they are pretty cute. But if you have like the right team, like first of all, you'll get so much more done. It is so much more fun. It is so much more fun. Thankfully, we have really cool people that work for us. Because if they're not cool, we fire them pretty fast. It's happened. but it's not going to happen to you. I'm going to show you how to hire the cool people that are like, they love the same things you love. They're fun to work with, and you can hire people remotely. I'll teach you how to hire people in person. Like, it's a different process for all of that, and that's a bonus to those of you who do the single payment. And for everyone else, you saw all those bonuses. Those are all there for you when you take action today. And as I promised, Brett and I are going to send you via email. So when you click Get Started, you'll see the button below. So let me walk you through this, okay? This is how this works. You click Get Started. Give me your physical address so I can ship you the book. Okay, I'm not going to come to your house. I promise. You have nothing to fear. I won't be knocking on your door, but the mailman will with this little gem. And then you want to give me your best email address, and be sure to click the box that says I can send you notifications, because if you don't, I won't be able to send you your login to the academy. Duh. So you got to click that box. And also, if you want, I encourage it, put in your phone number if you want the occasional, it's very occasional, text message to just let you know when there's new content inside of your academy. You can change your settings at any time. You'll do that, you'll enter your payment information, you select whether you want to do the full payment and get the discount, or if you want to defer your payments and do a payment plan. Either way, whatever works for you, I promise you this, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. You have 30 days. Dig in today. Set up a calendar. Get excited about this. Like, get really excited about this. It's not going to happen magically. It happens one lesson at a time. How much time? You can spend 20 minutes a day. You can spend 20 minutes once a week. I don't care what pace you go at. I ain't going anywhere. If you're willing to crawl, this is for you. If you're willing to sprint, this is for you. The person who this isn't for is someone who's like, will you be doing the work for me? No, I can't. You need to do the work. I'm going to show you the steps. I'm going to show you how, what, and when. So you stop watching what everyone else is doing and distracting you in social media and wasting time and money. I am so excited to work with you. This is the opportunity. So thank you to everyone who was here today. If you're skeptical, if you're still wondering, don't wait. You've got 30 days. The worst thing that could happen is if you decide to wait on this, and by the time you decide, like later tonight, you click and you find out that we're full. Every single year this happens, I can show you the emails and people get really irate. Please be a nice person. I've told you that it's automated. So once we reach full capacity, it just closes. There's no way I don't know if it's open right now. I assume that we are. Are we still? Spaces?
Yes, we're okay.
Okay. But it's an automated process. So if you do add to cart and it says you've been added to the wait list, then unfortunately that means that we did fill up our spaces, but you will be on the wait list and we'll send you a notification. But don't kick yourself because you waited to figure this out, because you know it's the right thing to do, so don't waver. Be one of those people who makes a decision. Believe in yourself. Why not you? Why not you? Who cares what other people think? Get out of your own head. I'm so sick of hearing the lies that someone else told you, that like you're not good enough, you might fail, what if this doesn't work? No, the only way you fail is by not trying. So let's do this. Click Get Started. Send me an Instagram message, send me a DM. I love a little video or just a cute photo. I don't care, but just let me know you're excited and that you're in, and we are doing this because I am so excited to take care of you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I want to share with you a quick message from, let's show them Trey. All right, so check this out. Watch it.
I decided, you know what? I'm going to invest in the MIA, the Market Impact Academy. And I'm so glad that I did, guys, because I followed it day by day by day. The way she structured it out is just genius. And the workbook, Chalene, amazing. I followed that to the T. I did not skip ahead. I went through each assignment. And within my first 2 weeks, you guys, I was able to get my entire investment back. Not only that, but now I have an online business that people are raving about. They're telling others about. And I've got a bunch of testimonials because I followed exactly what Chalene says to do inside the Market Impact Academy. So, highly recommend it. Thank you, Chalene. Thank you, MIA. Forever grateful. Love you, girl.
They want to know if they will learn about outsourcing.
Yes. Hi. Kristen suggested that I jump back in, even though I was like, okay, we're done. But there were a lot of questions I wasn't able to answer. So the question about outsourcing, those of you who you'll get some outsourcing, explaining like kind of how to do that inside the Marketing Impact Academy, but like the nitty gritty details, like what websites to go to, how to select the right consultant, how much to pay them for certain jobs, what countries to hire people, what countries like you're gonna get the best qualified consultants, all of those nitty gritty details, that's inside my How to Hire mini course. So those of you who do the full payment, you'll be receiving the mini course, and that's a lot of detail. Now we do cover a little bit of outsourcing inside the Marketing Impact Academy, but like I said, all of the details, like everything you need to do before you start outsourcing, all of that, that's inside the mini course. Next question that I didn't get to answer. Brett, are you reading those to me? Oh, will this work for creative folks? Absolutely. So I had a lot of people asking, okay, what if I'm an artist, or I play guitar, or I've got something that I sell on Etsy, and we have like one of my favorite stories is a student by the name of Diane Black, and maybe you've even seen her video, but she's here? She's in there, yeah. Oh, Diane's here. Okay, awesome. So I love Diane. I just want to tell you her story. Diane doodles. And you might think like, oh, so is she an artist? Like literally she doodles. Like, and she teaches people like how to do shapes, like doodling that children could do or adults could do. And she's turned it into $1 million business, doodling. Her academy is so dope. Like, shout out to Diane, because if you're in an industry where you kind of have to explain things, like if I was a physical therapist or a doctor or even network marketing, if you have to explain concepts sometimes, so many people think in pictures. And what an advantage you have if you're better at helping people understand things by showing them pictures, like doodling. That's the dopest thing ever. So anyways, shout out to all of my creatives who've been super successful with the Marketing Impact Academy. And does the Marketing Impact Academy work for people who are in a service-based industry, like massage therapists, the kind of people who are like a hairstylist? Are they called stylists? Stylists. So like a massage therapist, a stylist, a doctor, a lawyer, what are some others? A realtor. So if you're in a service-based industry, I hope this doesn't shock you, but you have a job. It's hard to say you have a business, because I think of a job as something you have to show up or you don't get paid. And so you might have a business, but it's really a job disguised as a business. I love rocking people's world who didn't realize they could be making so much more money and frankly helping so many more people without having to see clients. Like how to take this online. And that's the coolest thing ever. So we've helped doctors, lawyers, chiropractors, massage therapists, hairstylists, branding stylists, like you name it, we'll teach you how to create passive income so that you can be making money. Personal trainers, oh my gosh. Oh, so fun to help personal trainers, because I was one, and I'm telling you, it is not fun schlepping your stuff around to your client's house at 5:30 a.m. only to find out as you get there, you get a text message, hey, I'm not feeling well. You're like, great, and I'm not making any money. Like, that's the worst, and that's a job, and I want to teach you how to create passive income. A lot of people asking whether this works for a physical business. Okay, brick and mortars, totally. One of my favorite stories is a nail salon that we helped with the Marketing Impact Academy, teaching this individual like how to attract not just people who are interested in her services, but the right kind of local customers. Because she said to us inside the academy that there's a certain type of clientele that just make my life miserable. And I don't want those kind of customers. They are impossible to please. They don't tip my staff. They're always complaining. It's just, we don't want any more of those people. We want people who are like these people. And we teach you how to find the customers that you're looking for in your geographical area. So if you need more customers, if you need more sales, and if you need more money and more time, the Marketing Impact Academy is for you, even if you don't yet know your thing. We will help you figure out your thing. All right. More questions before I wrap it up?
I think you should probably address that the playbooks are actually mailed to them.
Okay.
And also, there's just so many people that are still like, is this right for an MLM? Even though they've seen the videos and you said it.
Yeah.
That's the one where they just don't quite understand.
So I don't know if you guys could hear Brett, but he said there's a lot of people on who don't understand how this works for you if you're in network marketing. And I've shown you the testimonials of people who've built their own personal brand and how we bring experts inside the academy that specifically to help those of you who are in network marketing understand how by enhancing your own brand, you build your downline. And that what most people are doing in network marketing is learning from the top, meaning the company. And the company's bottom line is to have you push and sell their products and their programs. And that doesn't work. And it certainly doesn't help you. This is what there's a million people selling what you already sell. You are not going to stand out unless you learn how to brand yourself. And if you don't understand that, then you won't understand how to take it to the next level. Like, keep doing what you're doing. You have to understand how to develop your own personal brand. And at the moment, what you're probably learning is regurgitated from all the people who are making a bad name for network marketing. And I bring to you the experts who will show you the right way to do it. So that not only are you building your network marketing business, but you're building your own thing too. Because frankly, you don't want to be known just for that other person's product. That could go away. You know that, right? Like the FDA, the FTC, they could shut down your network marketing organization tomorrow. It happens all the freaking time. And if that's all you have all your eggs in one basket. I want to teach you how to build your own thing so that it trickles down into your network marketing organization, your business, your downline. But if you're just solely relying on that, that is about the riskiest thing you can do. 2 riskiest things you can do is 1, source of income. Second thing is working for someone else and not having your own thing on the side. Because if you have a job, you could lose it at any moment. You just could. Like, your boss could die. Your business could be shut down. You could be replaced by someone who's cuter and younger and thinner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're at the mercy. So you better have your side something, dabbling in your little something, and you don't have to do it full time. You just need to dabble to make a little bit extra money. Brett said they were asking about the book?
Yeah.
It's mailed to you. Yeah. So that's why you have to give us your physical address so we can mail it to you.
It's
but
not Amazon, so it's not going to come in a day.
It doesn't come in a day. We are not Amazon, but it is going to ship to you. What I will say is don't let this hold you back, because you can start. Everything that's in here is also inside your, what do we call it? Academy portal. It's in your portal. You'll see a little download section. And in the download section, you can, if you wanted to, you could download like 1 chapter at a time. Because if you're like, oh, I can't wait for that. I can't. Open. Like, I can't wait for that book to show up. And you're like, I need to go through those, like, I need to figure out my thing, like right now. I want to do some work right now. You can. Like, you can download that chapter, those lessons, and then when your book comes, you can, transfer it there. And this is always being updated as well. So thanks for that question. And I think, did we get them all?
Pretty much. Everybody's just, they're in it.
Okay, someone asked about how to create a course and how to sell it. Here's what I would have to say to you. What do you do in creating a course if you don't already have everything you need to market the course? Don't start a podcast. Don't write a book. Don't build a course yet until you have the machine around it to make it marketable. Like, you have to have people who are dying for it. I want it. Otherwise, what you're going to do is spend a ton of time and money, and you're going to feel worse about your efforts because it lands on crickets. You know what happened? This is a true story. Very good friend of mine, very well known, and I've been telling him for years, this well-known thing is awesome, but you need an email list. And if you don't have an email list, it's going to be really hard. Because this opportunity that you have right now could go away, and it did. And shortly after it did, he published his first book, and he really thought, like, okay, I've got such a huge following. I'm going to be a New York Times bestseller. I'm going to sell a ton of these books. Well, he didn't. because he didn't have an email list, he hadn't set up his foundation, he'd done all those things. He'd built the course, he wrote the book, and he thought because he had a following on social media and people knew his name, that he was gonna be able to move that stuff. And it don't work that way. You can't sell on social media, y'all. You need to have your business foundation in place. And so if you don't get that, this is not for you, because I need you to get your head wrapped around that concept. And some people don't. Like, I mean, I have friends, I'm like, we're gonna have to like set aside savings for them because they're gonna be destitute because they're trying to rely on their fame or their social media, and that is not gonna pay the bills, and they just do not get it. And so that's why they have to take all this dumb stuff that they're promoting on their social media. They have to pretend that they're drinking shit that they don't drink and using like facial products that they don't use, and that they're using tooth whitener even though they have veneers. Like, they're having to do that stuff because they didn't set up a business foundation. And yeah, you have to take every dumb opportunity that comes your way if you're trying to live off of social media and you don't have a business. You need that business in place first. It doesn't take long. Okay, let me say this. I don't know if I have. The foundation, those pieces, if you have somebody walking you through it, you can do it in like 3 days. Literally. And we'll show you people, we'll show you case studies inside the academy of people who did it in less than a week's time, put in all those foundational pieces. But most people won't do it because they're not the 10%, they're the 80% that fail. So I just want to say that if you're still hanging on and you're still not 100% positive, just promise me that you won't build all this stuff and try to sell anything until you have your foundation in place. Let me save you the time and money. If I'm wrong, money back guarantee. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Nothing. What's at risk right now is you being painfully in the same place next year. What's at risk right now for you is you missing the opportunity to join, right? And it being closed. So I'm gonna quit talking so that I don't hold anybody else up. At this point, you know if it's for you or not. And for those of you who it is, congratulations. I love you. I'm proud of you, and I cannot wait to work with you. Mwah! Bye. You want to help people, and that's why you're here. Regardless of whether you're selling a Snapchat Academy, a pair of insoles, or a beautiful necklace. We don't buy products. We buy emotion. We buy story. We buy a feeling. Everything starts with who and what. Who is it that you want to attract? What is the story that you're sharing?
One thing that I've really taken away from this is I went to Ohio State University, got a 4-year degree in business, and never second guessed spending like $60,000 on college. And you don't get any of this information at the college level. So there's one thing I could do, I would go back and tell people about this amazing opportunity.
With a 2-day marketing lead-in, we made $7,000 in 1 week. And for me, that was just amazing. Like, we tripled our income.
I bought the Marketing Impact Academy to learn what's new and what's working in marketing right now. And from September to now, I've doubled my income. So does the Marketing Impact Academy work? Yes, it does.
No matter what your product is, whether it's maybe a thing you have to sell or a skill set or a training, you can plug and play. Marketing Impact is for everyone, all walks of life, all ages, all skill sets, all background.
Believe that it is possible for you. You just need the space and the time and the ability to focus on it. And guess who that's up to? You. Not me. It's not another course. It's not another seminar. It's not something you're gonna see someone else doing in social media. It's you knowing what you need to do, getting focused, and to make it better. You have everything you need to make it happen.
I would recommend Marketing Impact because of this. It will allow you to take any experience and turn it into a business. It doesn't even feel like work. Like, it just feels like you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Take it from me, if you've made it this far, it's for you.
Marketing Impact Academy is not theory. This is step-by-step action steps, things that you can do right away and start seeing results. I was able to grow my business 350% in year 2. It was really exciting.
There are no accidents. You were meant to be here. Just one idea can take your business and your life to the next level when you act on it. Sometimes Sometimes things happen to you and you go, this makes no sense. Why did this happen to me? How many of you have made it through your difficult thing? Your success rate is 100%. The purpose behind our challenges, I believe, is to serve others. You are the person to help others figure it out.
I was very unclear about how to monetize my online presence. I had no idea how to make it work as a business.
I'm just the average girl. I never really thought that I could have my own business.
If you're like me and you feel that pull that you're meant to do more, but you just don't know what that is, the Marketing Impact Academy will help you figure that out.
So you go from, I don't know what it is I want to do, and within a few steps of MIA, you're starting to see yourself as an entrepreneur. It went from idea to the first sale in 1 week, and it was the most amazing thing I ever could have done.
MIA really was the catalyst for me to be full-time in my business for the last 18 months. I left my 6-figure attorney job to run my agency, and life could not be better. I'm literally living my best life now.
I really realized, oh my gosh, this can work for anybody in any business with any knowledge that anybody has.
Marketing Impact Academy is for anyone who needs a jump-off point. I highly recommend investing in the Marketing Impact Academy. You're going to be so happy you did.